colleagues. Allow me to present you the project Bridges MS and some aspects of that entire project that we are looking at. I would start a little bit with the background how the project idea evolved. We as partners who were involved actively in the rehabilitation of Malahide Viaduct, which was collapsed in 2009. We did the analysis of past events, and we also were involved in the investigation and design of that weir. Also we were involved in the assessment and looking what happened and causes of the failure of the Sala Bridge, which I was not able to join you yesterday, but we were actively involved in that project as well. Further to that, we were involved in the assessment of scar risk across Ireland for more than 100 bridges, and also we were involved in design studies of scar protection in Croatia and Ireland, etc. This is what my presenter also pointed out, previous presenter, that the scar is a main cause of failure of bridges. From this study in 2007, which is well known, if we look at the number of bridges, of causes of bridge failure, we can see that 58% of the failure is due to hydraulic effect, which is actually the scar. So when we were looking at the entire process, how the activities of bridge management system is at certain end user, we need to look at inspections and decisions, which means some routing monitoring and inspections of bridges and also the training. Then there is a repair of damages, either hydraulic or structural causes, and there is again a software system which combines all the data. There's also reporting of past activities and assessment and looking at future activities. So when looking from the end user point of view, there's also always limited budgets and limited time available to collect all this data and to process all this data. So decisions must be made in terms of how and where those limited resources should be invested, and where the investment is not justified on the other hand. So when we looked at this, we actually looked at the various possibilities what are there on the market, but we said, okay, we need to look at from the scratch, from the beginning, and this is how the idea ended up with actually having the cost-effective solution of mainly scar risk, and this is where I will point out today, but we broadened it up also to the structural aspect of the bridge safety. So in general, Bridges in this project is IAPP project under the FP7 IAPP program. Its duration is 4 years from 2015 to 2018, and the budget is 1.4 million euros. The partners are two research institutions, University College Cork and Faculty of Civil Engineering from Zagreb, two industry partners, Cork Country Council from Ireland and Infrastructure Portugal, and we have a software company from Zagreb, Atlas. We also have supporting institution, University of Lincoln, two institutions from Ireland. So when we look at the scheme, how this interconnects, so we from the entire project we have end user perspective. So we get information from their needs, what actually is their daily work and how they look at this inspection system, because they're not dealing only with bridges, they deal with roads and other aspects of infrastructure assets. Then we have academic expertise from universities, and we have then software developers which help to develop the entire system. So all of this is jointly interconnected to the entire project. If we just quickly look at the work packages, what we have, the first is more general project management. And what I would like to point out today, a few elements on the technical research, which actually goes to the identification of input bridge and scar data sets. So the data is what we've seen the most valuable thing, and how do we process, how we collect the data, how we store the data, and how we use the data is actually I would say, one of the big elements of our idea and of this project. If we look at the work package 3, it's then the development of different modules. So we are looking this to develop it as a modular system. And in the end, there is a knowledge transfer and training involved in this project because this is part of Marie Curie Act. So when looking in a more general aspect of a scour, there are actually 3 aspects which needs to be addressed and which needs to be looked at. The first is a general scour, so it's a morphological development of the river where there is no structure at all. So the river develops either horizontally or vertically. Then we have a constriction scour aspect where there is a bridge now included. So we have a bridge structure here which constricts the flow, increases the velocities and produces problems to the bridge. And there is a local scour due to abutments or piers, so it deflects the flow and increases the potential of scour. Now looking at the end user, which is our core council in Ireland, they are using the airspan system, which is basically from Denver. And this airspan system, probably some of you know it very deeply. We have a routine inspection, which is done annually. Then there's a principal inspection, which is done either once or in a year or every 6 years. It gives a condition rating, and it's usually done by visual inspection of a bridge engineer. This principal inspection actually has only one component for scour, which is the condition of a riverbed. So if we look at the general scour, constriction and local scour, there is only one component that looks at all these 3 aspects. Where is it addressed actually, this scour risk? It's addressed, and the National Road Authority in Ireland is using UK standards, BA 74 or 6 or now BD standard, to assess scour risk. So if we look at the principal inspection, it's only one component that is looking at scour risk in this existing system. When we looked at the other system from US, for instance, Department of Transport or other aspects, so scour risk is included in principal inspection, but partially. It's not fully all the aspects of general constriction, local scour. Sometimes, as we've seen, NRA system usually uses completely a special inspection to investigate the scour risk. So to assess the scour risk, there are different standards, and to include it in the entire bridge management system, either we use the UK and US standards, and I would like to show you some of the results of using those. So my presentation is mainly pointing here on the scour risk, and not the whole aspect because it's a limited time to present all the aspects. But if we look at this BA 74 or 6 standard, there are 2 stages for assessing the scour risk. The first stage here actually is giving just one answer, one simple answer to the scour risk, which is it obvious from the site inspection that the risk of scour damage is so low that it can be neglected? So if it is yes, then we have a condition rating of 5 or priority rating 5, and then the inspection is over. So this is very, I would say, simplified approach to these 3 aspects of general constriction, local scour. Then if it's not significant, then you go to stage 2. Then we've seen you need to calculate 200-year flood, then you need to have the information on the foundation depth. And then you compare what is your expected scour depth and your foundation depth. And if your calculation is correct, then you prioritize your bridges. Usually it goes to 5. But if you don't have information of foundation depth, then you need to go back and to actually investigate your foundation depth. From past work, what we also published out of these inspections from Ireland, we've seen that from the 100 bridges across Ireland, and we looked at the different type of bridges. So we see there are culverts and simple bridges and complex bridges. When looking at only information on foundation data, we see, for instance, for simple bridges, there is 16 bridges with unknown foundations out of 17, and there is 61 unknown foundation bridges out of 77. So there's a lot of % percentage of bridges without having information on the ratio. So the question is how then you assess the scour risk with certain standards that require that information. So looking at a general idea on that, we've seen that some standards give not enough input data to assess the three aspects of scour risk, and some of them require too many input data to actually assess the scour risk. We've seen actually that input data is the key aspect of bridge scour inspection, and actually how you require, what information you require, and how you gain that information is one of the key aspects of this project. Also, we looked at a different type of structure. For instance, this is a metalhead divider, which shows one of the key aspects of scour risk here is constriction scour. The width of the upstream estuary of the bridge is 3 kilometers, which is decreased to 174 meters, which gives a significant constriction. And that is the reason why we have so increased in velocities at metalhead divider. For instance, for this complex system to have the same input data and all the elements compared to this simple new structure of culvert, it doesn't seem to be cost effective. So we've seen how to have different input data to different structures as well. We're looking at the end user point of view, and our pilot case, which is located in Ireland, in Cork County. That Cork County is the largest county in Ireland, and if we look at the bridges in that county, out of 1,200 bridges in Ireland, in Cork County, the single-span bridges are about 62% of those. And then with span then less than 3 meters, there is 28% of those bridges. So we look at a large amount of bridges which have a simple geometry and span less than 3 meters. Of course, in terms of structure, the main part of that is the stone masonry. The bridges, 95% of those bridges are masonry. So having that information from an end user point of view and past experience, we started and we developed the first draft of the guidelines for both structural and the scour inspection of bridges. We looked at two aspects, and we developed those structural and scour aspects into the 3 levels. Level 1 is the inspection of, we can say, simple bridges. The level 2 will be for the complex bridges with the complex geometries and complex flow conditions. And then the level 3 will be special investigations for certain bridges. We started to implement those guidelines. We had the training for the end user, and we will try to as well test it not only by bridges in Ireland, also in Croatia and in Portugal. But it's not only the inspection that we are looking at this project in bridges, and as I said, we're looking at a more widely aspect. And as this action and this workshop is on the value of information, so I would like to show you some features here which goes to the information side. So as I said, it will be a modular system, and our inspection management will be one of the modules. So all the data will be gathered in a structured way and stored in a database. From the end user point of view, we are developing the mobile platform to be able to immediately inspect the bridge on site and put it on the tablet, which will be uploaded then immediately on the website. For complex bridges, there will be requirements for a desktop study as well. Some other aspects are also environmental and bridge monitoring. We are trying to develop, and we are developing a new system which will be, again, cost effectively to monitor rainfall, temperatures, humidity of the catchment, and then to predict the floods. We will also look at the monitoring of a structure, but also the scour at the bridges, also looking at cost-effective solutions. In the aspect of flood management, we've been now partner of EFA's system, European Flood Awareness System, and which will help us in predicting the flood conditions at our pilot bridges. And I would like to, at the end show you our pilot catchment. So this is the Bandon River and the Bandon catchment. So far we have identified 6 pilot bridges, but we are looking at to include it even more in towards the end of the project. So this is the overall view of the aspects of the bridges semester. I will not read it thoroughly all of this, but as you can see, it's a modular system, and sometimes for certain bridges we can use all the modules, but for simple bridges and simple cases we can simplify those. Of course, we will have integrated the GIS system, we will have the decision support system, and all aspects what is required, including the financial planning of future works. So to conclude this presentation, we are looking at the various aspects of bridge inspections from the beginning toward the end, and we are trying to make it as much as possible cost-effective solution. So we're looking at how to store the data, how the data are collected and processed in real time, then how to use that data to rapidly notify the personnel if certain elements will be critical, especially in terms of flood predictions. Also, we will have a decision-making tooling for end-user point of view. To support efficiently and easy inspection, this is one of the key elements of the project as well. And then to prioritize the operation and maintenance budgets for future works for the end-user. This is also included in the project. It's a training of engineers and inspectors, because we've seen that the scar risk is not so deeply known for the end users in terms of the managers of the bridges and how their knowledge on the scar risk is developed in the past. This is all. Thank you for your attention. Calculation of the prioritization. So I haven't shown you, and the presentation is not about that. I understand your question, and I'm trying to give you just a flavor of all of that. So it's we have identified 11 components for level 1. 11 components, and then there are 6 states of each component. So, and if certain state of certain component is severe, it will then go to level 2 inspection. So, if I can have just one more minute on that. This level 1 general inspection, the idea is actually, and what we've seen in the Core Council, they outsource completely their inspections. So it's done by consultancy companies. It's not the same situation with Infrastructure Portugal. They're doing that everything internally by themselves. So then we ask the Core Council, would you be in favor of having inspections done by your guys, by your engineers? Because that will keep the knowledge inside the company and they will be able to assess by themselves, and they were in favor of that, especially for simple bridges. So that's why we split the bridges between level 1 and level 2 inspections, and we are giving them tool to inspect all bridges, all level 1 bridges, which is mainly, you can see, simple bridges with a single span. So this is the basic. Of course, it can be outsourced as well, level 1 inspection, but this is also our idea.
Okay, thank you very much. We can continue the discussion later.
Thank you.
Any more questions from audience? Okay. I think score is very interesting problem, and
no, I only would like to challenge you, Damir, to give support at the working group 3 in the task which is coordinated by Nico, because I think it's interesting to have more discussion about this issue. What indicators should we consider for score? What is being studied in this sense? What can be, in my opinion, differentiated from the general to detailed inspection? In what situations? I think you can.
From which inspection?
You do the level 1 and level 2.
Okay.
What indicators can be computed in each level, and why you jump from level 1 to level 2 for some bridges. So this is important issues. And according to the presentation yesterday from Nicola, there are still in some countries indicators missing. And I think this is important that we could have a good group inside 1406 also proposing these new indicators, because it's a really important matter. Just to finalize in terms of Portuguese infrastructures, I don't think João is here, but what they do is actually they have inspectors that they love a lot to do diving.
Yes, we know.
So they join here. They join the two things. So it was very good because it was possible to do some lobby and some inspections at the same time. And now the number of inspectors that want to do score inspections in Portuguese infrastructures increase usually. So it's everybody wants to do subaquatic inspections, and especially the young inspectors, but also old people. And they started now, I think one can confirm that, but they started with training, yeah, with subaquatic training, etc. And I think this is good, because sometimes people don't want to do inspections subaquatic, it's risky, but then you face that there is a new generation of people that love to do diving and at the same time they are civil engineers like us. So I think, and also joining this with training, it's really important in my opinion. Yeah. Because we need to have training for inspectors more and more. Yeah. So this is a good experience that we have.
Thank you. It was not.
So we will
they are very busy with other things. It's not just the scar or bridges. So we have a good collaboration with Core County Council and also Infrastructure Portugal. They have limited resources, as I said, for all these activities, and we have to be very careful not to flood them with our demands on the indicators for scar risk. So this is, we as a researcher would like to have thousands of them, and then we will be certain, okay, then we can calculate and predict and do calculations. But this is very time-consuming and very costly. Right. So we should to choose the right one. Yeah. To choose the right one. This is our goal as well. To have this in a cost-effective.